And we're live.
Now I just, fly in helicopters and shoot at people's paintball guns and stuff.
At the same time, you're shooting people from the helicopter?
Yeah, I've done a couple games like that where they've hired a chopper, and I've taken like one of those with my box mag out and had 300 rounds going out of the helicopter in the sky.
So are you like part of the scenario?
Yeah.
Man? Like Dodge the helicopter man?
Get the hell out of the way when you see us flying by type of situation. But it was fun, and I'm throwing smoke grenades out and stuff. And
is it done to level the playing field? Like Team A smashing Team B, so you come and just mow down A a little bit?
Essentially, yes. And it's like, when things are getting a little out of hand and we're pushing the base too much and you didn't want to spawn camp the other team, because that makes it's not fun for anybody when you're spawn camping.
Well,
right?
It's fun for whoever spawn camping.
Yeah. Well, not really, because even if you're killing the guys in their spawn, it's like, what fun is that? It's not,
I enjoy it. I managed to get my die down. I crawled through the thickest nonsense ever at CPX one year and got all the way to the enemy spawn and just I don't know, I shot 1,000 rounds before I was empty and then left.
That's why I exclusively play against 9-year-old girls so I can get the same experience.
Right.
The other parents hate it since I don't have a child.
See, when we did those scenario games, my trick to having fun was cheating. And just like wiping off when I got shot and being no, and it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Shoot me again? I'll wipe it again, idiot. Like, I'm not
do this all day.
I'm not walking a half mile back and a half mile in.
Yeah, because that just gives me license to like let loose.
That's fine. Shoot me 100 times. I'll wipe 101 times.
Oh, yeah. Say that now.
That seems unnecessary.
Yeah. It's not really how the game's supposed to go.
At that point, you just show it off, Taylor.
Well, it got to that point. I remember when we were doing that scenario game, I think it was Woody. Woody was we were all sweaty as shit. We had pushed them into their spawn point so much that like, if you got shot on our end, we had to walk literally over a half mile, like 3/4 of a mile back, tag, and then come back in. And I remember like seeing Woody a few times, and like we'd been hit similar times, and Woody's like, how'd you get back here so fast? And I'm like, I never left. I pretty much, what I really did is I would wipe it off, walk to a tree that wasn't part of the battle, and then stand there what I thought was an appropriate amount of time.
Yeah, like, that seems fair. I did the same. I was like, what they really want is me to be out of the game for 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's what's fair. So I'm going to go back here and get my water out and drink it and just chill for 15 minutes, and then I'll come back. That seems fair.
That walk would be a hell.
Because it was so goddamn hot. Like I don't remember. Were we playing in June or July or some shit in Chicago?
I think it was the beginning of June.
Oh,
May, bro. It was the end. It was May.
It was still brutal.
It was
brutal. Like it worked out. Like, and that feels gone now, right?
Yeah. Paul sucks. And the boys, they sold that thing and made fucking money. Killing. Yeah. Good for them.
Was that the year that like it was so hot and there was like that sewage poo leak?
They always had that problem. Yeah,
it smelled like
a very distinct aroma when you left.
Yeah, it's like, this is what war smells like. This is real.
It's something about what the topsoil is like in that area, and then it mixes with the gelatin that the paintballs are based with, and then you have like low-lying areas, so you end up with a mud hole or whatever, and like that just kind of sits there and gets nastier and nastier and nastier, and it really does become like, if you go back to when White Boy was like dolphin diving in that shit, he was dolphin diving into some putrid, disgusting shit.
Yeah,
like, it was so filthy
there for a long time.
It's better than a real job.
It's better than a real job.
That's true. But like after he did, like
there was a shower right after.
Yeah. All you guys judging. It's still better than a real job.
I washed him down with a fucking yard hose after that. And it was,
you did, because there was an indoor shower and no one was cool with him using it in his state. Because he was covered in actual shit.
I had to like blast him with a garden hose before he was clean enough to use like an indoor shop shower. Like, it was so filthy.
But that game, like the big one now, well, Living Legends still happens, but it hasn't come back to that craziness. The crazier now is Ion, Skirmish Ion. That's 4,500 players.
Where does it take place?
That's cool.
I think it's Pennsylvania, I think.
Oh, shit. That's too far.
Invasion of Normandy.
Invasion of Normandy.
That's awesome.
That's the biggest one in the world.
At what was it called? Legends? What was the one that I went
Living Legends, yeah.
Living Legends, yeah. At Living Legends, 12, 16 talented paintballers could make a difference. They could like push back the crowd to some extent, you know, because most of the people are just drones like me, you know. If I was in Star Wars, I'd be dressed in white. I'm just one of those guys. But then there's a couple heroes who are good at this game.
16 Jedis.
Yeah, 16 Jedis come in and make a difference. That's perfect.
Yeah.
When there's 4,500 people, what does it take to have any impact on winning or losing?
That's pure organizational skills, and there's the tanks there are insane. Like they got, if you look on my YouTube channel, they got a tank there called the Mine Heron, and it's got like external cameras all around it. So when you're inside the cabin, you got a 360-degree view, and it's got night vision on it. It's got it shoots out smoke grenades. It's got 4 different ports for gunners, and you've got like 6 tanks going around, stuff like that. You've got tank commanders. You got full battalions going out there. Like it's
like the generals putting the tanks in the right spot and the tanks being talented. And there's still a bunch of Star Troopers, but they're just cannon fodder.
But you need, like, instead of, you know, a dozen guys, there's a good, strong team of like 100. Like there's a guy, they're the crew there. I think it's the 101st Airborne, and they fight on the American side. But these guys like fly all over from Europe, Canada, America, and it's like a religion to play together for this.
Not so much from Germany.
We get guys from Germany there, and they're not always on the American. They're not necessarily on the German team, but
your cosplay is amazing. Vintage.
When I've done those scenario games, I always like being on the defending side because I feel like you're more likely to win in no matter what. Yeah. Unless it's like a Civil War reenactment where like you make sure the Normandy side wins, then I would want to obviously be on Normandy. But
this one, like when you release from the boat for the beach attack, because they have like, you know, boats in a big massive open field that's like 3 football fields long. You know, the boats come down and you've got millions of paintball. Like you remember that final battle on the big hill, right, where the paintballs are going crazy. Just times out by like 10. Jesus. And when you're let out it's straight up Saving Private Ryan opening scene when those doors go down and you're running out and everything. Like I posted a video from that on my TikTok, and I've got like 1 million views in one day because it was so insane.
Wow.
But the intensity was like it will set you back for a second because you didn't think there could be that many people playing paintball at the same time.
Well, I remember the top. So what it was you had to like grab a flag at the top of that hill. Yep. And both sides are just laying fire towards the flag, assuming that they're going to hit the other guy. But like, if you pop up, you're going to get hit arguably more times in the back from your own team than you are in the front. And so it was like, I remember there was like a brief little line of like 4 Titans who were just taking turns getting absolutely pummeled. And like, if you weren't there, you might not know, like Wolf is like in the character, doing like screaming at you like you're in a real war, which is a good thing because it's inspiring. It's getting you in the middle of it. You don't want a commander who's like, after this we have we're catering White Castle for every, like, no, you want someone who's like, this is for everything, for your families back home, John. It's like I'm getting amped up. This is great.
Well, the thing is, you know what, like even though I'm very fortunate to play this game like every weekend and fly all over the world and stuff, but when you're there, like I treat every game like it's the last game you're going to play, because some of these people, you know, they work overtime for a long time just to play this one event, right? So I want every chance they get to be like insane and intense, and I want them going home with stories. So you know, I lose my voice after every event because that's how intense it is. And I play with,
you get paid to do your side of the event? Are you like staff? I was thinking, like if I were to hold an event, I'd want to make sure you were there, and
I don't get
like
into specifics.
I want you to have fun, but I also want you to make everyone else have fun, which is what you do. Yeah. Well,
I'm a bit of a draw, and at the same time, I'm also good for promoting these events, and I like making trailers and stuff like that. So, you know, it's to get me out to a field, you cover a certain amount, and you know, I do what I can for you to bring those numbers up every year. You know what I mean? And if you're making money, I'm going to make a little bit of money, and just everyone's going to have a better time with it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
it's a win to get you there for everyone involved.
Well, yeah, and that's what my goal is. Like, I feel like crap if they're, you know, flying me out there and I'm not, you know, the numbers are decreasing and stuff. But You know what I mean? And it's like it was a trip because a year ago they flew me out to Mexico to play. You want to play paintball like a man? Holy jeez!
No, I don't want that at all.
I want to
Unless you
pretend.
really don't care about the insurance. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
drinking. Like it's funny because normally my thing is when I go to a game, I'm like, okay, guys, you know, there's no drinking on the field, and make sure you hydrate. And I don't want you to fall from the heat. And I go there and I do my regular Wolfpaintball speech and make sure you hydrate and, you know, don't be drinking. And they start laughing at me and everything. And I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, there's no barrel covers in the staging area. Like, everyone's just walking guns out.
Oh, God.
We're going out to the field. First of all, the field was not a field. It was just like some patch of Sicario land that some drug dealers let them use, which I didn't know about till after because I would have peed my pants. But
Wow.
you know, there's like, one guy goes, oh, don't go there. That's a tarantula nest, so don't go there. Snakes over there, and that's a cliff, and you'll die if you go there. So it's like, and they're, you know, we're walking out to play, and they got their mask up, and they're drinking cervezas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. But it was so cool though. It's like freeing.
The other team is the least of your worries.
I know, man.
In
That
that
is
battle.
legit, like, you know, watch your six type of stuff. But it felt good though. You know what I mean? So
Do you always use like the realistic looking guns when you do these scenarios,
Always.
or do you always? That's
yeah.
good. That's in because I remember I remember seeing you wearing an amount of clothes that I would describe as smothering in
Yeah.
that heat, and being like, that guy's so committed. He had like
Yeah.
Evian bottles, like a bandolier or
Yeah.
something.
I go out full Milsim tactical every single time. I find it's like a challenge to myself to try and push myself as much as I can. And there's a lot of guys out there even sometimes wear more stuff than I do. But I just see it like, you know, I'm not comparing myself to like real soldiers or anything like that. But I'm thinking if those guys can go out in the bush and in Afghanistan and do it for, you know, 6 months straight,
Yeah.
I can handle it for 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, man, F up and just, I go out there and like, I played in like Los Angeles and it was like 114 outside and people are dropping like flies and stuff like that. And I was like, I just kept going. And it's like, you know, I get home, I do hot yoga to, you know, to assimilate myself and stuff like that. And it's like,
Did the dog come and eat your potato?
Sorry.
He ate your whole potato.
But yeah, man,
What an ass.
I wear the full gear, the full camouflage, the full, you know, I got alcohol packs, I got radio sets, the whole deal. Like, you know, I look like a Call of Duty character every game, and you know,
Do all of those guns behind you shoot those like winged balls that go more accurately?
Oh,
like
the
fins
first
on
strike
it?
rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the new. Well, they're not new. I don't know.
Not new anymore.
No, they're not. If you're watching this or watching, essentially they're called first strike rounds, and they're paintballs, and they have fins on them, and they go about double the distance of a regular paintball. So we call them, you know, sniper rounds, first strike rounds. My die dams will shoot those. Most magazine-fed paintball guns will shoot those things. So they're a game changer because I've done videos where I'm shooting with my box mag and I'm going, can't reach you guys. I'll just eject that, put in a magazine with first strike rounds, and I'll just boom, hit them in the headshot type of thing. And that's where like scopes actually work with those things. Like I've got a scope on that one, supremacy scope, and it's like, you know, it dialed in for like 120 yards, and then it's got reticles where it just works. It's like really cool. So it's a game changer in certain situations.
I'm more used to like using the rental Tipmans where you have to have a vibe for the wind.
Yeah.
Like, and like the best you can hope for is that instead of going like, it goes down, and then it's like, oh, I remember T Mart and I got a couple that went down, and we're like, we're bunker busters. We're like archers, you know, getting right behind the bunker. That's
I used to think it was your fault because you guys would complain about your equipment, and I'm like, sure, I'll admit your equipment's not as good, but I mean, it's the carpenter, not the hammer, right? Until I had to use one.
Yeah,
I thought it would curve in the same path all the time. Oh,
No.
There's a random element to this thing. you can't aim it.
well, some markers are
no,
more
it's
accurate than
impossible.
others too, right? So like some will have amazing grouping. Like my damn when I have it dialed in. The grouping is like awesome, right? For a certain distance, but some you're like, you know what I mean? That's killing by volume at a
You
certain
get what you pay
point.
for. Yeah, you get what you pay for in paintball
Yeah.
to some extent. There's diminishing returns on the top end, but that's the same. I mean, same with AR-15s or like real guns. You know, like you're
Exactly.
gonna get what you're
Thing with
paying
so
for.
many things. You know, I could say stereo speakers are like that. Like,
Oh, for sure.
you know, when you go from 100 to 400, like they get notably better. When you go from 400 to 1,000, maybe some people can tell the difference. From 1,000 to 3,000, I can't tell the difference.
But here's the thing, though: the higher you pay, the more problems you can have with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, I drive a Range Rover Sport, and my friend with a Honda has never been to the shop with their car. You know what I mean? So, but mine is in there like right now for like a freaking brake sensor type of thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and so the Didam is going to have more problems than your basic Titman will. You know what I mean? So with that increase in cost and you're going to have the reliability is going to be a little more quirky type of thing.
I forget what mine was. An Empire Axe, maybe? Does that sound like one?
That sounds like that. Yeah.
The Axe was the good one we got to use the second time we went. That made it 10 times more fun than me.
Yes.
I know that there are better ones, but that one to me was like, you know, where the diminishing returns start. That thing is really good. Anytime something didn't work right, usually I messed up or you get a bad feed now and then.
And the Axe is like an entry level.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
but it's the start of good, I would argue.
It's just above the Titman. Yeah.
To me, the gulf between a Titman and the Axe was huge.
Yeah.
That
Maybe it was the hopper.
Yeah, it was probably. The hopper was a huge difference.
I got so many of those axes now. I think I've got maybe 10 axes or something like that.
Damn.
I've got some. Yeah, I mean, all of the ones we had are mine. I mean, you kept yours. You got to keep yours.
Okay, mine used to be yours.
Yours was for you. Yours was for you.
Yeah,
I think that's what they told
This is
me.
a higher end speedball gun, the space gun. So this is the speedball guys. This is my Diem 3. So this goes for a pretty penny.
You know, they wouldn't let me carry that on. They said it looked too much like a real gun.
What?
Ooh,
What gun?
It looked much like that. It was my Axe.
it wasn't this, but no one would not let you carry. I don't know who.
Oh, I promise you, it really happened. And I held out I had the instructions printed out that said you could take paintball equipment so long as it was decompressed and everything. And
Are you talking about a plane?
Yes.
Oh,
What did I say? Did I not say it
It
clearly?
sounded like you're talking like taking it onto a field.
Oh, my mistake. No, this is to an airplane.
Okay.
And as I was checking in, they saw it, and I was like, "This is a paintball gun. Here are your airline's rules that say you can bring paintball guns so long as they're not like compression, as long as the compressed air is still in it." And they're like, "Well, it looks too much like a real gun. We also have rules that say you can't bring like things that look like guns." And they had to check it.
I always do that. Like what Kitty always said was like just check it like a firearm. So I would always just go to the place where you check firearms and I'd be like, hey, this is where you check firearms. Like, yeah, what do you got? I'm like, it's a paintball gun, but they're not going to believe that up there. And they're like, they'll believe it. And I'm like, look at this, and it's like an AR-15. They're like, oh, this is a paintball gun. I'm like, so you see where the problem comes in now. They're like, yeah, we better swab this and check it through as a gun.
I forget. I had a photographer friend, and you guys would know, but listeners might not. When you get a good camera and a bunch of lenses, that can reach $50,000. And he would put a gun in with his video equipment because the airline wouldn't lose that shit. They paid special attention to the way they tracked it. I don't know if it's true, but he said it was.
Oh, it's true. That shit's that's all by itself over there. The guns are. Yeah, that has a whole different protocol. They don't care how much your bag of electronics cost, but if they lose a Glock, they're in trouble.
Interesting. Like I have a friend, you probably know, Kalai Noir, black guy. A second.
Yeah.
You should have him on the show because he's like totally awesome dude. But when he travels a lot like I do. I never have any problems because it's a paintball marker, but I let them know first. But he has he's actually has his own line of like safes for handguns and stuff like that, and it's a biometric when you put your fingerprint. And he's got the whole system laid out. He knows like every state law when it comes to flying with firearms and stuff. But I've never had a problem with traveling with these things because as Kyle said, you let them know what you're traveling with beforehand. You don't do it carry on. You're always going to check it. And it's, it's funny because I always have to go through the extra large scanner, the X-ray machine. And for some reason, they always put the dumbest people on those machines. And it's like they'll have, 80-year-old woman who's never seen a paintball gun before, hardly speaks English for some reason, and it's like, it's a paintball gun. See, I'll have paintballs in the bag with it, and like, it shoots this. You go, no, it looks like real gun. No, she has to call a supervisor over. And he's, oh, it's fine. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Like finally you make it through, and you like whisper to her, "It is a real gun, though."
I told you.
Fool them again. We tricked them again, boys. Come on.
You're responsible for what's about to happen.
But yeah, it never fails. But as long as you're saying the right stuff beforehand, they're 99% cool. The only one who's not cool is Air Canada, and they have a thing with guns, and I don't know what was Canada, but I had to fill out the real firearms paperwork for that, and it felt really stupid because it's practically a kid's toy, right? So
yeah,
it seems like they're checking the paintball gun a lot, but not the paintballs, right? You
I
could
leave
put some
them in there on
Batman
purpose.
shit in there. What do they poison Japanese subways with?
Jesus
Christ.
Right?
Telling you.
Maybe I feel like there's some nerve gas they use.
Yeah, it was nerve gas.
I can't remember the name of it, but that's
For what, the paintballs?
No.
Yeah.
The stuff they poisoned that Japanese subway with.
Oh,
that
yeah.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So legit paintball gun, illegitimate paintballs. That's the trick.
Well, I have pepper
Interesting.
balls too.
I was about to say the pepper balls. Yeah.
You
Bring
guys,
those to a tournament. You're gonna win.
Yeah, they won't like me too much.
You hit someone, they're out all day.